Hello, chismosas y chismosos, and welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime, where I like to tell the stories of the real cucuys and lloronas of the world. I'm Audrey, a paralegal turned stay-at-home mom who loves true crime. The cases I cover are wild, topics may be triggering. Viewer and listener discretion is strongly advised. The people mentioned are innocent until proven guilty in court. With all that being said, grab your hot Cheetos and let's get started on today's case. Today, we will be diving into the Oklahoma City bombing of April 19th of 1995. Unfortunately, there are prequels to this horrific event. If you haven't already, I invite you to check out my previous episodes on Waco and Ruby Ridge for context. The Ruby Ridge raid occurred on August 21st of 1992. 3 people died. The Waco siege occurred on February 28th of 1993 through what ended up in a massacre on April 19th of 1993. 86 people died. There is actual creepy footage of Timothy McVeigh showing up to the Waco siege as it was happening, and he handed out pro-gun flyers with slogans that read, "When guns are outlawed, I will become an outlaw." Timothy also showed up after the 51-day standoff with the feds ended in a massacre at Waco. On the 2-year anniversary of the Waco massacre, in retaliation, Timothy McVeigh would be responsible for the Oklahoma City bombing of April 19th of 1995. 168 people died. 19 were children at the daycare center. 680 people were injured. Everyone affected and their generations to come will forever be affected by the sick, intended bombing and massacre. The blast caused damage to 324 other buildings nearby and in total caused an estimated $652 million worth of damages, and it remains to be the worst act of domestic terrorism on U.S. soil. Authorities at first did not have any reason yet to believe that a Caucasian man in America would be responsible for what is still known as the worst domestic terrorist attack on U.S. soil. There is actual footage and news reportings before they were caught that the suspects would be Middle Eastern. Even at Quantico, most investigators were certain the bombing was the endeavor of a foreign terrorist. FBI psychological profiler Clinton R. Van Zandt begged to differ, as he had previously acted as the chief negotiator at Waco 2 years earlier to the day. As such, Van Zandt believed the perp would be a Caucasian male in his 20s with military experience, possibly a member of a militia. The world was even more surprised to learn that those who planned this travesty all served in the United States military together. Timothy James McVeigh was born on April 23rd of 1968 in Lockport, New York, and lived through up his deserved execution by lethal injection on June 11th of 2001. He was the second of 3 children to Noreen Mildred Mickey Hill and William Bill McVeigh. He was the middle child and the only boy. Many sources describe Timothy's upbringing as far from idyllic, but when I read it, I did not see much rarity. His parents divorced in 1978 when Timmy was 10, and he went to live with his dad, Bill McVeigh. Kids bullied Timmy by calling him Noodle because he was skinny. By the time he was 14, he was really into guns and survivalism, like in the forest, camping and shit. When people asked the most loved question to ask young kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? Timmy would respond with gun shop owner. Timmy's favorite movie was the 1984 Red Dawn that shows a small group of Caucasian American teens who stock up guns and survival gear when a foreign army invades the country. Like all nerds, Timmy also loved Star Wars, and he would refer to the US government and its agents as stormtroopers to anyone and everyone who would listen. Timmy worked for Burger King and as an armed security guard before he joined the army when he was 20 years old on May 24th of 1988. In basic training, he met Terry Lynn Nichols and Michael Fortier. The three amigos bonded over their shared beliefs. They were all anti-government, pro-gun, pro-white supremacy, pro-idiots, and some of the worst scums on earth. When the three amigos got together, just like a cute book club, they spent hours talking about their love for the 1978 novel titled The Turner Diaries by American Nazi William Luther Price, written under an alter ego he called himself as Andrew MacDonald. The hero in the book, in response to gun control, makes a bomb and blows up the Washington, D.C. FBI building. Terry was considered old in the Army. He was 12 years older than Michael and Timmy. It is said that he joined because he failed to maintain a steady employment outside of the home. Terry Lynn left the Army via a hardship discharge after his wife Lana Padilla abandoned him and their young son. In Ted Oatly's book titled Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols' Oklahoma Bombing, Michael Fortier is described as, and I quote, a pill-popping, pot-smoking man who probably signed up because of his family's military background, unquote. After Terry left the Army, Timmy and Michael's bond grew even closer. Out of all of the three amigos, Timmy was the only decorated veteran who wore a green beret. He was about to try out for the Special Forces, but Saddam Hussein said not today, and as such the Gulf War commenced. Timmy was deployed to Iraq and served our country in Desert Storm. He returned to U.S. soil with the Bronze Star and failed the tryouts for the Special Forces. He was so upset about not making the cut that he left disgruntled, and he quit and went back to working as a security guard in Buffalo, New York.